For my niece's birthday, I went ahead and did some hot air balloon centerpieces. So if you guys want to see how I did it, just keep on watching. Okay, the first thing you're going to be needing is some balloons and paper, toilet paper tubes. I went ahead and cut them at about 3 inches, and then with some tape, I taped them onto the balloons. Now I am using a mixture of engrudo, which is flour and water put together. The tutorial is on my channel. So we're going to paper mache it, giving it the shape of a hot air balloon. And you want to go ahead and make sure you cover it, giving it about 3 to 4 layers. The more layers you add on it, the harder it'll be. And then I finished it off with a white layer of paper. I set them out to air dry. Once they were fully dried, I went ahead and started painting. So I am just going to be using pastel colors, creating this pattern. You could go ahead and paint them however you want. Once I did finish and they dried, I am taking some twine, and in those middle lines, like in the division of the color, I'm going to be putting the twine with some hot glue and just cut off the excess. This is going to make it look like it's the string from the hot air balloon that is like kind of holding it down. So you want to go ahead and do this to all of your hot air balloons. If you want to go ahead and try any different designs, you can go ahead and do so. I am just giving you the way that I made it. I also made these like little loops on the sides. I just thought that it would look cuter with that, and this is how they look. So now we're gonna go and work on the bottom part, which is going to be the basket. I made these little cubes. I am using cardboard. They do measure about 2 by 2 inches. And then I just made the baskets, and I will be using some skewers to make the string of the basket and connect it to the top part of the hot air balloons. So my initial idea was to just hot glue them in there, but then my son came up with the idea of just sticking them into the cardboard, which ended up breaking a lot better. And then at the top of the skewers, you're going to want to put some tape or hold them all together so that when you add your balloon, it's going to look something like this. So this is what the balloons should end up looking like, and the reason why we use sticks, because it's going to hold the balloon up. So now I am going to use some twine and just wrap it around the bottom part of the basket and also around the skewers, going all the way to the top. Once I am done with that, I am going to be using these little pieces of wood, which you could buy at the Dollar Tree, and I am going to hot glue the basket onto it right at the center, trying to be as centered as possible. And it looks like we're almost done. So the next step is going to be using some mud podge. You could use any other glue that you might have, and then I will also be using some cotton balls, and this is going to make it look like all fluffy. I wasn't sure about this step or not, but I ended up deciding with doing it so that it could look like the balloons are somehow in the sky, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I am just adding some mud podge and then just taking my cotton balls, kind of fluffing them up a little bit and then sticking them on there. So at this point, I thought I was done with the hot air balloons, but then I felt like they were missing a little bit something. So I went ahead and took some socks and just cut them a little bit and placed them inside the basket. This is giving it a whole nother look. And something that I love about creating is that I start and I think they're going to turn out one way, but then as I start working, I just start coming up with more ideas or little details that can make it look a little bit more realistic, which is why they say details are everything. It's what makes it count and what matters at the end, because it's going to bring it all together. So now that I have it in there, I'm going to be taking my scissors and kind of make little holes so that I could stick the scores back in there in place. So I don't know if you could tell right here that I am having a little bit of trouble sticking it back in there, which is why I decided to just take the scissors and just cut out little holes. It's going to make it a lot easier for me. So this is what the basket was looking like, all plain, and then I decided to add the socks, which brought it a little bit more to life. And I decided to add one more detail, which was adding miniature sandbags, which I used part of the leftover socks to do this, and it brought it all together. Once I added the hot air balloon on top, it just came out beautiful. I really like how they came out. Hopefully you guys did like it and learned something from here and could give me a like. Thank you guys for watching.